everybody, and here we are with day 2 of the Normandy trip, and today we're in a field, and that field is a parking area for St Mere Eglise. It is a beautiful day, as you can see, and today St Mere Eglise is holding a militaria fair, so we're going to go and check it out, and I'll also bring you some more information as the video goes along with how St Mere Eglise played its part geographically in the war and who was involved here. So, more items to come soon. Hi guys, so we're now inside the militaria market, so to give you some idea, quite a large affair. Only cost a couple of euros to get in. So the majority of the stuff here is going to be American and German, just because they're the most popular things you'll generally find. There's a good few items in the way of reference books, things like that, including the one I already own, which is just there. And what I'll do is I'll bring you snatches of video kind of from around when I find stuff of interest. So I'm about a third of the way around now. Now there's a lot more British stuff than I was expecting. You find in, you know, these small packs, things like this, even like little nice little items like your boot brushes here as well. However, I am finding that the prices are very high compared to last year. As I say, the most popular stuff is German. You can see it behind there. And American, which are the two main items. I think especially things like airborne, I don't know if you can make it out, the stagger there as well. So, as I say, you just got to kind of keep your eye out for a bargain, know what things are worth, and if you're not sure, then don't really go for it and maybe come back later. Right, come back with another video. I thought I'd bring you this to kind of emphasise the popularity of the American gear. So this is a stand which is almost entirely set up to American airborne and American infantry. So it starts all the way up there, comes down over here, things like 30 cals, M1 Garands, and carries all the way up there. And this is mostly reproduction gear, but obviously if you don't want to trash an original, that's generally the preferred way to do it. Obviously things like the 50 cal here, going to be original, but very nice pieces of kit. So as I say, if you know what you're looking for and if you're going to use it, it's probably best to go reproduction. However, if you want an authentic piece of World War II memorabilia, you generally have to pay that little bit more for it. There are a couple of bits of British items here in these piles, but mostly American. There you go guys, another example of just kind of the scale and quantity of the American and German reproduction gear here. So obviously we've got a large amount of US doughboy infantryman gear, we've got a lot of paratrooper gear, really cashing in on the divisions that were there. I mean, fair enough to them, if it sells, it sells, and that's fair enough. But it literally everything you could ever wish for. You've got infantryman boots here and here, we've got the buckle boots later on in the war, we've got reproduction corcorans, sunglasses, literally anything that you wanted to make your impression could be here. It just depends what it is that you're looking for, and a lot of people will slate different qualities of items, and that's going to be down to personal preference as you go along. So I know I've bought some real howling horrible things in my time, but it's very much personal preference with what you prefer. So at the end of the day, do your research and come to one of these with an open mind, I think. Makers amongst you will find all sorts of things at military fairs, including models. They'll do remote controlled aircraft, they've got some beautiful tanks. Oh, they've even got George S. Patton Jr. And dog. So you can literally get anything and everything at these guys, so it's a very bizarre experience sometimes. So yeah, I'll keep going around. I'm nearly finished this one and I'll be heading out to the next day. Okay guys, so just finished at the militaria market. I didn't find a great deal there. I found the prices were a little bit more than they would be in the UK. Main reason for that being that the sellers are selling to people who are here, because of D-Day, and so everything that's got a World War II stamp on it is generally priced up quite a bit. I managed to buy one badge for about £7, so woo, get me, last of the big spenders. So anyway, outside the fair, we actually have the rest of St Mere Eglise, of course. So we've got a market day on today, so it's a lovely little village. but it's obviously got quite large ties to, again, the American Airborne. It's a museum, if you can still hear me over the wind, museum towards the 82nd and the 101st. Some of the guys that we saw the other day, who are actually serving members, are just over there, and there's a large group of them coming around today. So essentially, if my history reminds me correctly, the 82nd and obviously 101st landed in this area. The 82nd actually ended up being dropped on the town just after an air raid, so there was quite a lot of fires. They were lit up quite badly when they came down, and were attacked by the German defenders, and a lot of them were killed. One guy, I don't know if you can see up there, famously caught his parachute on the church and was deafened by the bells, but played dead, and so survived even though he was shot at by the Germans. But he did survive. I forget his name, I'm sure Eddie something possibly, but you might want to, I'm sure someone will be able to correct me on that one. And yeah, so the town itself is absolutely gorgeous, real beautiful town. Anytime, obviously, other than around June, it's quite a quiet little sleepy place, but obviously this time of year it really kind of picks up. So I'm just going to wander around a bit more and hopefully head to the American encampment in a bit. Wow, something I thought I'd definitely deserve to film here, guys. The M8 Greyhound, which is an armoured car, this one here, has literally been dug in and then camouflaged. So to walk back a little bit, that's absolutely awesome. So they've proper dug it in with an access ramp, and then by the look of it, we've got what looks to be a 50 cal pit here. So it's really nice when reenactors go that extra mile and do a dugout scenario, because it just looks fantastic. So I'll get out of the way and let other people. This is a majoritively French camp, guys, so it is American, but majoritively the people I can tell are French. So we've got, and they are living here, so they've got stoves, vegetables, you know, camp beds, the whole works. So it's a really quite a lovely experience, and when you get to do this as a reenactor, it's such a satisfying thing to do, because also you can just chat to the public, you can do really as you want when you want, and with all this military gear, all this hardware, it's fantastic, absolutely awesome. Hey guys, so if you can hear me over the wind, this is really an atypical, brilliantly kind of, you know, set out stand. So we've got first aid post with the poor soul there and all the medical equipment. I mean, that's fantastic, that's all original. Then we've got a communications tent set with pigeon by the look of it as well, for a battalion headquarters. And then we've got foxholes with 30 cals, paradrops supplies with a parachute. It's such a well done camp, and when you've got this amount of gear and this amount of space, it just comes out really well. So I'm just going to put together a few more photos for you guys and one more quick video, because one more thing I want to show. Now, I thought I'd save the best till last, because it may not be the best, but it sure is the prettiest. It's my favourite tank of the entire Second World War. It's called the M4 Sherman. It's a large tank, not comparatively compared to the German ones. Absolutely gorgeous. The Brits used them and the Americans used them. Pretty much all the Commonwealth forces did. They were incredibly easy to manufacture, with a 75mm gun, which wasn't particularly good, and originally with petrol engines, which caught fire if they got a solid ricochet, even not even a penetrating hit. And then it was developed later on into various other patterns. But my God, that's gorgeous, gorgeous tank. 250,000 pounds to buy one in running condition, so that gives you some idea of the scale of this vehicle cost wise. That's not including spares, plus all the scale here. So I'm going to leave you on this wonderful shot. I may well bring you another video today, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be doing, but this here has made my day. Ooh, although that's just made it that little bit better. There you go, guys. M4 Sherman and 2 Hercules. It's not a bad shot right there. I'll leave you with that. See you later, guys.